Welcome to Allie's Space to Craft, and it's time for a little Colbert. This is a one-page layout featuring some photos of Stephen Colbert when he came to visit at NASA. I have some papers here from a Bella Blvd Dad collection, and this blue one is actually an old Creative Memories scrap, and then I have some other scraps I'm going to make use of. So I'm trimming these photos. He did two activities while he was there. You can see there's an astronaut in a blue suit talking to him while he's on the air-bearing floor, and then also he got to ride on our partial gravity offload system called the Pogo. I love this, I'm just going to call it pie chart page. I did think about cutting it down and putting a border on it, but I decided against it because I prefer the blue paper to that black polka dot paper, just because of the blues in the photos. So I'm going to use this other paper from the paper kit as a starting layer instead of doing white. So one is landscape, one is portrait. So I'm going to put them beside each other and sort of build out some layers. I'm saying that this is in the style of Shimelle. Shimelle does a lot of this paper layering. I'm not as good at it as she is, but I feel like I was pretty proud of this page that I was able to do it sort of in her style. So that's the start of it, and then I'm going to just keep adding layers underneath it. So this is a great paper for adding some journaling. So I'm going to add that underneath it, and then I'll also use this to build a diagonal. So this is a textured blue paper. I really like it. I want to add it into it. It adds a really nice texture even among the papers. So that's something fun to add. So you can see I'm just adding papers behind it in some of the different tones. And then I have a whole bunch of ephemera that I'll add to it as well. So I've done this and I forgot to ink it, so I will have to go back and ink that. I think I show part of starting the inking, but then I cut that away. So there are some parts in this video where I've cut out some of the longer parts in order to keep it just under 15 minutes. It took me about an hour start to finish on this paper, on this page, which is fairly typical for me because I fuss around a lot. I can be somewhat indecisive. This is from a Ginger's Corner swap, embellishment swap, a Kodak Moment embellishment swap. I was so happy to be able to use it, and the colors are perfect with it. And this tag at the bottom is from a swap as well. I think this was like a circus themed swap, and because he's riding rides, I decided to sort of lean into the amusement park or ticket theme a little bit on this page with the embellishments. So you can see there I have some tickets and things like that, even though he did not need a ticket to ride these things. I end up not using this. I was hoping to, but it's kind of harsh white background, so I end up thinking that it's not what I want on there. I had pre-cut some, I had some puzzle pieces in my ephemera binders And then I cut a couple of extra ones to add to it out of the yellow paper before I left, so I didn't have to bring that punch with me. And here you can see I'm just adding a few more. I think that one says for skill and amusement only, something like that, which is kind of funny given what we have. So here I have some letters. I'm going to cut out the word Colbert out of the sort of mustardy colored paper. And this is where I start cutting away a bit, because I had to run it through twice because I messed up a couple of the letters. And so I'm just going to cut the word Colbert in the yellow, and then I'm going to come back and cut it in the blue, because I feel like it's sitting on a piece of yellowish paper and it doesn't stand out enough even with some inking. So I'm going to recut it with blue and offset that behind it. So here's where I mess up. I moved this letter and I didn't realize that the other letters on top moved. So it just makes a mess of a couple of the letters. So I can't really use them, but I'm going to recut them. You just don't have to watch it. And here are the other ones. Oh, that was a pretty good edit I did. You could barely tell. So here comes, I put this away and then I think I do some inking and stuff like that. And then I'm going to come back in a little while and cut it out of blue. So you can see they're not really standing out enough. Now I haven't inked them yet, but I decide to bring in a little more blue. So I start inking everything. I cut away. I don't make you watch me ink everything, but I ink all those layers of paper, everything. And here's me just finishing that up. And I can reassemble the papers. And here's where I say, okay, let's cut out some blue as well. And remember, the Scout is what I brought on my retreat with me. I have my bigger one at home, but this was at my retreat. So limited tools, and you can see things are moving here as well. All right, so we'll cut away, and here's where I'm assembling them, the letters, and I just slightly offset them in the same direction. Oh, that was a loud car outside. So I'm inking both the blue and the yellow and then offsetting them. And that shows up a lot better, I think. There were a few little nubs that didn't come out of this, so just poking some of those out. Ginger from Ginger's Corner is the one who made this embellishment. It's just beautiful. I was really excited to be able to put it on a page where I felt it fit so perfectly. It would be great on a Disney page too, because it really is Disney colors. All right. And then we're going to still tuck in some of those other layers. Just trying to finish out. So I'm happier with this. that the two bigger embellishments are not lined up with each other quite as well, as much. I do want to go back and add some string probably to that one tag. I probably need to do that on several of these pages because I didn't have string or twine with me on this retreat, so I probably need to go back and add it to a few places. And I purposefully offset this a little bit, not exact, so the photos shouldn't be exactly in the middle, I don't think. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they're pretty close to the middle, but the paper itself is, and then it's shifted a little bit to the left, just for some visual interest. And it's time to stick down the title. So around this time is when he was trying to name the toilet on the space station, but he ended up getting I think the treadmill named after him, and it's called the Colbert treadmill, something like that. All right, so here we're just I just ink the main page just to sort of finish that out. And we're going to do some, I just had this one last true story flag that I thought would be appropriate. Just fussing around, trying to get everything perfect, if you will. All right, and now it's time for some finishing touches. And what I decide I'm going to do is mix some gold splatter. I don't have gold splatter. I've been trying to get it on scrapbook.com, the Tim Holtz sprays, and it's sold out. So I take some of my copper and some of my gold, add a spritz of water to it, and mix it up. A little more gold in there. So you just, and this works like gold splatter or gold paint, and it dries a little bit dimensional as well. It doesn't just soak in to the paper, so it's pretty effective for that. And now we'll just take a look at some close-ups. So I was just checking to see if it was dry, and do a couple of close-ups there so you can get a better look at it. And here the journal box at the bottom. Thanks a lot, you guys, and come back for more content.